Hello, my name is Alex Cannon. I build websites. Today I have a quick tutorial for you. Today we're going to go over the Palindrome checker algorithm for FreeCodeCamp. Now this algorithm is one of the projects you must complete in order to get the JavaScript algorithms and data structure projects certification. So if you don't know what the palindrome is, what it is if you have a word or a phrase like race car and you reverse it or you read it backwards, it'll read the same. For example, race car, if you read it backwards, it spells race car, right? But without further ado, I'm going to show you how I figured this out and what my process was. So the first thing I do when I solve these algorithms is I go down to these tests and I look and see what some extra things I need to think about are. Or as I'm going through, I'll click run the tests and see what is failing or what is not. So one of the first things I noticed is that this string right here has the word I, but it's returned true, even though there wasn't another underscore on the other side of I. So that told me that the underscore character was going to be ignored for this function. And if you go down and look at some of these other tests, you'll notice some other characters are also going to be ignored. For example, if you look at this phrase, a man, a plan, a canal, Panama, it returns true, even though if you reverse it using those exact characters, that it would not be an exact match. And that tells me that spaces are ignored, periods are ignored. And I went through these tests and I found that all of these characters I'm highlighting right now are ignored. So the first thing I'm going to do when is I'm going to try to get rid of those characters from our string. And you'll notice that I copy the string, the input string, into two variables in order to avoid mutation. Now I'm not an expert on mutation, but from what I understand, this does avoid it, meaning that the input variable is not affected by what we do in this function. For example, if we were to edit this in some way before we return this, then that would be mutation, and we want to avoid that in JavaScript. We want pure functions. So in here, I use this regex I created right here. There's not much to say about this other than we just match these characters globally. That's all this regex does. If you search regex tester online, you can test your own regexes. And so I pull on this input string and I replace anything that matches the characters we want to ignore. So we're matching those. For example, in this string right here, right? We are going to match the space, this comma, this period. We're going to match those. And then we're going to replace them with this string right here, this empty string. So we're just getting rid of them. And then another thing I do right here is I'm making everything lowercase. And that's just going to help us match these later. Okay, so we remove those characters. Now we just have lowercase letters. So that's much easier to work with. Okay, so now our string should look something like this. It should say man, plan, canal, Panama. That's what our string looks like instead of this, because of what we just did. Okay, so now we need to reverse our string, because that's how we test if it's a palindrome, like we were saying earlier. So an easy way to do this is, and there are multiple ways to do this, but an easy way to do this is to turn your string into an array temporarily, because arrays have this nifty method called reverse, where you can, who guessed it, reverse the array. And then you can assign your string to this array again. And so again, we get our string and we split all the characters, and then we reverse them, and then we join their characters together. again once they are reversed. And then now all we need to do is just check if this is a match. And now if we run the tests, you'll see that we had a successful challenge. If you like this tutorial and want more videos like this, please like, comment, or subscribe below. Thank you for watching. Again, this is Alex Cannon, and I'm out.